Today, I would like to show you how you can self-host your N8n automations, which basically means you're not going to be paying the N8n monthly fees. You are going to run your N8n automations from your laptop. So just quickly, for people who don't know what self-hosting means versus the cloud. So instead of paying monthly fees to use tools that run on someone else's computer, the cloud, you can run them at home on your own laptop or desktop. So it's just like baking cookies in your own kitchen instead of buying them at a bakery where they cook them in a different kitchen. What is the cloud? The cloud means someone else's big computer out on the internet. It runs your software. You access it from your browser, but they control the kitchen and the ingredients. Why would you rather self-host? First, no monthly bills. Just like at home cooking, you pay for the groceries, your internet and computer, then bake as much as you want. Privacy. All your data stays in your hands. And unlimited testing. Nobody says time's up if you play all night. For that, we're going to use a tool called Docker. Docker is a tool that speeds up the process of creating, testing, and deploying applications by using what we call containers. Don't worry, I'll explain it in very simple terms as we go along. But what you need to understand is that Docker packages an application into a container, which contains all the necessary elements for the application to operate. This container can then be run on any system and any environment. Docker images specify the commands and steps needed to build Docker containers. They include the application or service, dependencies, libraries, and other binaries required to run the application. Docker volume is persistent storage. Your data is kept safe even if the container is destroyed or restarted.
Is like a portable kitchen for your software. It packs everything your app needs, so it runs perfectly anywhere you take it.
Images are the live kitchens, which is the container blueprint. They contain the recipe, instructions for cooking your app, what code to run, startup commands, utensils and appliances, all the software tools, libraries, and even a specific operating system or environment needed for your app. The container is a specific cooking session or the live kitchen. You've got all your ingredients, image, you've fired up the stove, and the food is being prepared, served.
Think of a Docker volume like your personal pantry.
Even when the kitchen container is gone, the pantry volume and all the important ingredients, your data, are still safely stored and can be reused when you create a new kitchen or container. A Docker container is your real running app built from the blueprint images. It is fast, lightweight, and works anywhere, anytime. When you stop it, the kitchen vanishes, but the blueprint remains ready to create new kitchens instantly. A Docker volume is persistent storage. Your important data lives safely in the pantry, even when the kitchen container is gone. Watch as ingredients move to storage and survive container restarts. When container restarts, shut down, the volume, long-term memory will persist. And that pantry, long-term data stored, can be accessed in the next live kitchen app session. Okay, so let's go and get Docker. That's it. So you're gonna just install the version that's suitable for whatever you're using. I'm using Mac, so I'm gonna use this. Here, just accepting the terms and services. Just gonna finish. And here, this is just giving the right authorization for it to run again. Okay, cool. Right, I'm just gonna skip this, and then here is the containers. So into this page, you don't need to know any of this noise, but what you've got to know is inside your N8n starter kit, you will have these components. Self-hosted N8n, the automation platform to build your workflow and agents. Ollama, the brain, the smart part that can think, analyze, or make decisions for your automations. Qdrant, filing cabinet, for special information your brain, Ollama, needs to access quickly, such as knowledge, memories, or files. Postgres, his is your main notebook or long-term record book where your assistant stores all important notes, lists, and history for safekeeping. With this kit, you have an automation platform, N8n, a powerful brain, a quick access filing cabinet, and a safe long-term notebook all working together right on your own computer. So like if you're using a Mac, if you're using Windows, you just need to find the right one for what you're using. For me, I'm using a Mac, so I'm just going to copy this here. Anyway, you gotta go here. You're gonna find the terminal, which is basically if you just go into your apps. And if you can't find it anywhere when you look, you just go and type terminal. It's gonna open something like this. When you do that, you just paste and then hit enter, which is just gonna run this into your laptop. When done, what you're going to see something like this. Editor is now accessible via localhost 5678. Copy that, and you got to go into your browser, paste it. Enter your existing N8n email address if you have a cloud account, or a new one if you don't have one. And we can create like a new workflow. So here, let's add a new AI agent. Go here. And then for the chat module, we're going to add Olama. I'll show you why I want to do that. Olama service, edit, because it's not going to connect with this here, the base URL. We're going to go back into our GitHub page and we're going to copy this change base URL. This is for Mac users, okay? Going to copy that and we're going to paste it here. Okay, and save. And now it will be running. Here we go. That's done. So for our workflows, we are going to log onto our cloud system. For example, I'm just going to log on to this one, and you choose the workflow that you want. Obviously, I'm not going to choose all of them, but let's just say I want to just take this one here. So I'm going to do, click on that, and I am going to download it. So here on N8n, you'll find these three dots here. Click on that, and then go and download right here. Download, and then you've got this, and you're going to go into your self-hosted N8n. If I just go back into self-hosted N8n, and I'm going to go into here, three dots again, and import from file, my file, and it's this one, and here you go. I can work with it now. There are obviously pros and cons to both solutions, but I'd say like if you're only just starting out, if you can get over the setup, which does look intimidating, but I'd say it's definitely worth it. If you'd like to try and test so many automations without the monthly cost, I'd say go on self-hosted. Then if later on, like you feel like you're worried about like the updates, you're not technical enough to keep on top of all of that, then maybe you can go back and get something on the cloud. If you're a beginner learning automation, but not running serious or business critical tasks, hands on, you'll understand how things work behind the scenes. You can experiment with new ideas, break things, and learn by doing without risking real business work. Low risk. Since nothing real world depends on it, it's okay if something goes wrong while you're learning. More skills, setting it up yourself will build your tech confidence. Helpful if you want to work with automation tools professionally later. Practice solving problems. You'll get exposure to things you wouldn't see with a simple cloud-based service. Go at your own pace. No pressure to keep things secure or reliable for others. It's just for you. Tons of self-hosting. Tricky to set up. The first time installation can be confusing if you've never worked with servers or command lines before. You fix your own issues. If something breaks, you're the one who has to Google for answers and fix it. Upgrades and backups, you're responsible for keeping everything updated and backed up so you don't lose your experiments.